Breaking news! Stock markets have crashed! People are losing jobs left and right! That is what people were hearing all across the U.S. on the night of October 29th, 1929. This is how people started the new decade known as the 30s. Now, the 30s wasn't really a laughing matter with the whole Great Depression and everything. But
I have crippling depression.
there were ups along with the downs. For example, in the first year of the decade, yes, the Great Depression started, but FIFA held its first World Cup.
Nice shot!
Now we move into the next year. The Great Depression is not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, the unemployment rate is doubling. Along with this, the famous Al Capone is sentenced to 11 years in prison.
He had no problem whatsoever hitting on the undercover officer on the audio tape, trying to pick her up and saying, "Girl, you're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal."
After 4 months.
And the U.S. suffers the worst drought in its history, the Dust Bowl.
In 1932, the Depression is still raging on. Close to 25% of Americans are unemployed. However, we have some good news for you feminists out there.
Not speaking to Richard.
Amelia Earhart becomes the first female to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. Woohoo for a woman! FDR is also elected to be president.
Unemployment in 1933 peaks with almost 33% of the population unemployed.
I just realized I'm broke and they're laughing at me.
The 21st Amendment is passed, undoing the effects of the 18th Amendment. Prohibition is over. This means alcohol is no longer banned. And trust me, folks, the people needed a drink.
2 shots of vodka.
Goods were inflated, and 3 cans of milk costed almost 17 cents.
On the people. Oh!
Somebody! Oh!
He needs some milk.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The turning point in the Great Depression. Unemployment decreases to 22%. In other parts of the world, conflicts were brewing, setting into motion the next World War. Hitler declares himself the ultimate leader of Germany. Walt Disney creates the character Donald Duck.
The Hoover Dam is finished.
Damn, Daniel, back at it again with the white van.
Finished in 1935. Unemployment is still pretty high at around 20% of the population. The Emergency Relief Appropriation Act creates the WPA, which stands for the Works Progress Administration, which provides millions of jobs, helping us kick out of the Great Depression. Meanwhile, thoughts of war were prominent in Europe as Germany began to strip Jews of their civil rights.
Want a Jewish girl that go to temple and read her Torah.
The unemployment rate is still decreasing. Germany continued to show the world they were not scared of anyone. And Jesse Owens dominates the 36 Olympics.
Oh. Are you okay, honey?
Italy and Japan form an alliance which will be apparent in World War II. Many unemployed Americans travel to California to find good jobs. They do not end up finding enough jobs. Biscuit has been War Admiral in the race of the century. Woo!
Watch out, watch out, watch out! His name is John C.
Kids all over the world are ecstatic over the new Superman comic.
Do-do-do.
And, on a darker note, Germany begins prosecuting Jews. After a few years of success, the unemployment rate sadly climbs back up to 20%. A recession hits.
Germany attacks Poland, starting the Second World War. Russia invades Finland. The U.S. decides to remain neutral, but does start to prepare for the worst. The Great Depression is now over.
That, my folks,
Is the 1930s summed up by some 8th graders.